Hi guys, today we're going to discuss how to find high probability setups. Now this is everything I do when I'm looking for a setup for the week, or if I already have a setup that I'm watching out for the right time to enter my trades. Now remember, there is always a right time to enter your trades because sometimes traders tend to have good analysis, but because you enter too early or late, you don't get the best results. So knowing the right moment or the right area, the right level for you to enter that gives you good risk is very important. So this will be the beginning of the week. So everything that we're doing it as how we find our high probability trade setups of the week. All right. So the first thing that we do, well, if it's a Monday, for each day, every morning, always check for news. Always check to see if there's anything that could happen that will affect your trading. So always check for news, right? Then the next thing that we do is we go on our weekly time frame, right? And we highlight those zones. We need to highlight the zones so that when we go on our smaller time frame, when we're trading during the week on our smaller time frame, we don't have to go on the weekly time frame, on the daily, every time that we look at the markets. We just go on the time frame that we trade, which is the 1 hour time frame, and we look at the zones. They're already highlighted, so we will know which zone is which and where it's coming from. You should have the mental picture of the higher time frames in your head. So highlight previous weekly zones, right? And that's what we are going to do right here. I'm going to go on our weekly, right? And then we're going to highlight our high and our low of last week. So we have a high, right? So weekly high, and then we're going to highlight our low, weekly low, right? So looking at the weekly candle, we start narrating, we start telling our story. To be a good trader, you need to tell a story, if you think about it. So if we look at our weekly candle, we have an upper wick. If we look at our previous weekly candle, we also have an upper wick that was filled, right? So it's most likely that this week's or the previous week's week will also get filled before anything major happens in this coming week. So in our minds, we already know that the first thing that we would like to see maybe a proper weekly, the upper week fill, right? If any sales are going to happen, right? So if price does the week fill and then pushes lower, then we know, okay, it has already filled the week. Now it's time for us to look for sales. But at the beginning of the week, we're going to be watching to look for an upper week fill first before we start looking for sales. So as you do your analysis of the lower time frames, you already have that in mind. Right, the next thing that we do, we go on the daily time frame, and then you want to highlight the Friday daily time frame, right? The Friday levels, daily levels. So let's say Friday low, and this one, I think it's good. It's already highlighted there. It's a weekly high, and last week was Friday. There is not much to add to that. So now if you look at the daily time frame now, then it becomes more clear of why we are expecting the upper week fill first before price to come down, right? So that's just small steps that we just remember, right? They are not that huge, you just remember. Now remember, I've explained this before, these are period separators. I like to know my days. This is obviously the low, but we adjust so that we don't have lines that are cutting through unnecessary candles. So let's just add highlight previous daily zones, the high and the low. When I say previous daily or previous weekly or previous this, the high and the low only. You're not putting too many lines or too many zones inside the candle itself, just the high and the low, right? And then the next thing, adjust zones on H4. And then we go to our 1 hour time frame. 1 hour time frame, that's where the fun starts happening, because that's where we place our trades, that's where we look for our entries. Then when we go on the 1 hour time frame, we just have to adjust a tiny bit, because now this is our area of interest. Because if price is gonna come all the way down here, it's gonna want to reach this area of interest. If you look to your left or to what happened last week, we had price coming to this line here, there. So if price is gonna play around here and maybe decide to do the weak fill and then come back down, we're most likely going to find it also all the way low, because now this is our area of interest. That's where price is playing around. So it might get into the order block area and reach here instead of all the way down here. Now if it doesn't come all the way down here, then it's telling us a story that now this is an order block and price might want to continue even going higher and not fulfill their sales. So this is our area where if price breaks, if price starts playing below, we know we're now only looking for sales. Buys are no longer valid, right? So now that's your story. So you write that down in your journal, right? So that every day you come on the markets, you read your analysis, you update your charts, you see what has happened, and you see if it's going accordingly to what you have predicted or what you're looking for that week, right? That's how you find the best trading setups. You can't just come on the day of the market and start doing your analysis from the weekly. You are not prepared. It's not good enough. So since now we're on the 1 hour time frame and we have already adjusted our zones, we add our zones on the 1 hour time frame, the ones that we are trading for that day, right? The ones that are telling us what to do or what to expect for that day or what to look out for that day. So we have our high and our low, right? And inside our high and our low, we have a small range. That's a minor range. Now we're not going to take this as something major, because now this is only something big, maybe on the 5-minute time frame. So if we are looking for a trade, right, we are looking to buy from down here to trade price to do the upper wick fill. Even if it doesn't come all the way down here to the low and it breaks out, we are still trading the upper wick fill, right? And then from there we are looking to sell, right? So if price comes all the way up, right, does the upper wick fill and then give us some sort of a reversal, some reversal pattern, some peak formations, we will then be expecting to sell price from this high to come all the way down. Because if you looked at our daily time frame, like we said, price could be ranging. There is a high that price might not want to break. You know that if you have done your higher time frame analysis, right? However, if price ends up breaking above and then it does not come all the way down as we were expecting, then it's okay for us to expect to trade that breakout and still take price higher, because now that just means price is broken our previous weekly high and the new weekly candle is now taking its own formation, it's creating its own range. Remember, a candle is a range. Because a one candlestick on a daily time frame, if you go on the lower time frame, it might be a range. So a candle is a range. So that new weekly candle will be creating its own range. So if price ends up coming, or if price comes at this high, right, and then it rejects, falls, and then it comes and starts playing around this area, if it breaks and stays below, then we know price is going to reach our area of interest, right? The moment it breaks our area of interest and starts trading below our area of interest, we know price is now bearish. We cannot expect the bullish move that we were trying to figure out. So every time we were looking for a trade, as long as price is above here, we're looking to see if there's going to be a huge sell. We are watching out for some buying signals, some buying confirmations. The moment price breaks our area that we are watching out for sales, we're now looking for sales signals. You can't just go in the market and just buy and sell without having something that you are looking forward to. You won't have the confidence for you to place the trade and fully be confident in the take profit and the stop loss that you have if you don't have a story behind it, if you don't have something that you have been waiting for. All right, because when you just come on the market and you just start placing buys and sells, you're just trading anything, so you don't have any grounds. You're not trading what you think, or you don't even have the confidence in what you're trading. That's when people end up buying and selling randomly at the same time. So yeah, always have your story, right? So the next thing that you need to do is go on the 1 hour time frame, right, and tell your story. And that's all you need. That's the end of this video. If you have any questions, email us. If there's anything that you'd like to add, we would like to hear you out. I hope you all have a good day or evening wherever you are.